Doom. To give judgment against condemn. To fix the fate of destiny. To make certain the failure or destruction of. Doom. A popular franchise, video game franchise, debuting in late 1993. Doom. A 2005 movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Karl Urban. Hey, hey, hey! It's the Pacific Northwest Geek here. Echo Zero here. And I'm back with another review. This time I am looking at the 2005 movie Doom, starring Karl Urban and The Rock. If you smell what the echo is cooking. Now, this 2005 movie is based, of course, on the video game franchise of the same name. This popular franchise actually began in late 1993, which means this year, in December of this year, it turns 30. Of course, it was 1992 ID Software released Wolfenstein 3D, which is considered by some to be the first FPS game. That's a first-person shooter, for those who don't know. If you need a little bit more explanation, we all naturally see in a first-person perspective. We know, not looking behind, over, shoulder, whatever. This is how we normally see, and that's the view we have in the game. Only you're holding a weapon or a gun or something, and you see the weapon, and you go, pew, 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 on. My favorite weapon in this game, the chainsaw. Maybe that's why I like chainsaws in video games so much. Anyways, we've seen a lot of movies that were based on games. By this point, I believe we had seen Super Mario Brothers, and Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I'm sure we might have seen some other video games turned into movies by this point. But off the top of my head, live action movies, off the top of my head, I don't know what year Silent Hill came out, so I don't know. I can't remember exactly what other movies before 2005 had come out. Now, big fan of this video game series. Tons of fun. I have lots of fun memories playing this game, hanging out with friends. I did play some of the, what they call the clones. Riven? Was it? No, it wasn't Riven. It wasn't Riven. What was it? It was like a Hexen. Hexen. It was Hexen. And it was the Aliens trilogy. I think that was one that followed the first three Alien movies. That also used the same formula that was used in Doom and in Wolfenstein 3D. With the popularity of the games, it was only a matter of time before we would see a movie that would be based on the property. And in 2005, we saw just that. Now, the movie tells of on Mars, some scientists have unearthed some stuff and are playing around with some shit they probably shouldn't be playing around with. Some genetics, and end up unleashing utter chaos. A distress call is sent out, and the Space Marines are sent in to handle the situation. So find people if you can, save them if you can, get the data, but if you have to, exterminate with extreme prejudice. This group is led by Sarge, played by Dwayne Johnson, who is credited as The Rock on this movie because he was just coming off his wrestling career and he was starting to wind down and doing more acting and less wrestling. He was coming off movies like The Scorpion King, Mummy Returns, The Rundown, Walking Tall, and Be Cool. Now, amongst his crew is a guy called Repo, real name John Grimm, aka the Doom Guy, played by Kyle Urban, who is coming off movies like Ghost Ship, The Chronicles of Riddick, The Bourne Supremacy, oh yeah, he played Cupid and Julius Caesar, and various other characters on Xena Warrior Princess, and Hercules, The Legendary Journey. Anyways, at first, Sarge is kind of hesitant about having Reaper with him because his sister, Dr. Samantha Grimm, is one of the scientists. She's played by Rosamund Pike, who is coming off movies like James Bond, Die Another Day, and a month before this, Pride and Prejudice. Now, after getting there, they find themselves trying to find out what happened, coming across some gruesome scenes and some mutated people, and a room where there's a secret weapon, a special weapon locked in, the BFG, which if you're a Doom Game fan, you know that BFG, big fucking gun. And as they find themselves having to see what's going on, and there's more chaos erupts, they start to die one by one, and one of them, Sarge, becomes affected, becoming more aggressive as he slowly turns into one of these creatures. Anyways, this all leads to a scene where we get a first-person shooter scene in this movie with Kyle Urban. Basically, this is like the point where he becomes Doom Guy. Love this movie. Not just because I am a Rock fan. I do like a lot of his stuff. But also, I actually enjoy it. Think about video game movies that are video game adaptations are not always the best. I did not like Mario Brothers. I did not like Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li. Did not like Mortal Kombat 2: Annihilation. I like the first Mortal Kombat and the most recent Mortal Kombat. But I do have a few of them of these main. Over here you got House of the Dead, the Silent Hill games, and the Resident Evil movies. Over there's Mortal Kombat and the Street Fighter one with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Raul Julia. I do highly suggest checking this out if you can find a copy of it. I don't know if anyone's streaming for free, but it is well worth checking out. Again, this is, Rock was really young into his career. He plays a good villain. He did that good in wrestling, but this is different. This is a complete up asshole who just basically likes to treat people bad. He kind of does that in wrestling, but this is a little bit more darker, almost like a bit what we would see years later with Black Adam. Now, again, the franchise is turning 30 this year. And although I do have this, I also have, I believe, Annihilation, not Annihilation, but Eternal, which is the latest installment, the latest game in the series. They did do a 2019 movie of this, but I couldn't finish it. It was so god awful. Now, if you have any thoughts either on this movie or on the franchise, the gaming franchise, please tell me in the comments. I'd be really interested if you enjoyed them as much as I did. And if you are a player of FPS games, what is your favorite? I do like Doom, but some of the more recent Wolfenstein games, minus Young Blood, I actually did enjoy. I enjoyed Old Order and New Blood, but Young Blood and New Colossus, I didn't really enjoy. But anyways, I gotta go. I got some stuff I gotta work on. So why don't you just watch this? Hey, it's the Pacific Northwest Geek.
Trooper of the month, grab that fireball, let's get crunk. Come on, hop in, let's ride. Go over to the Echo side. If you miss out, that's okay. He'll catch you on the flip side.
I'm Michael Zero, and I will see you on the flip side.